E buonasera. Buonasera a tutti quanti, ragazzi. Eccoci qua. Allora, come vedete stasera serata tranquilla, anzi pure un po' tardi. Sono le 10:20. Ma iniziamo. Allora, abbassiamo la musichetta. Gegita, buonasera. Sì, è la nuova mascotte, Gegita. Si chiama Glitcho. Si chiama Glitcho. Oddio, ho alzato un po' troppo. Ok. Si chiama Glitcho. Ed è qui per voi. Allora, stasera è una serata tranquilla. Volevo iniziare con una notizia che mi è arrivata sul telefono. Ho visto e ho detto, lo devo fare anch'io. Facciamo una bella reaction. Glitcho. Sì, si chiama Glitcho. Come l'ha scritto il primo, Glitcho. Cioè, no, aspetta, no, Glitcho si scrive TCHO. Vabbè, comunque, basta chiamarlo Glitcho. Stasera facciamo una reaction perché... Sì, brava, Glitch con la O finale. Glitch. No, perché Glitcho è hungry? Perché? Dai, su Glitcho. Non stare così. Comunque, ecco, potete interagire con Glitcho. Per ora i bit non li ho perché non sono affiliato, però potete dargli una pacchetta sulla testa oppure fargli saltare la corda. Se andate giù sotto al video c'è la sua finestrella e quindi ci si può interagire. Se la vedi Ghiglita, oppure se stai da telefono dovresti vedere un'iconcina appena sotto diciamo la live sulla destra e ti dovrebbe aprire la finestrella di Glitcho e puoi interagire con due pulsanti, uno che dà le pacchette sulla testa e l'altro invece che gli fa saltare la corda. Eccolo lì Glitcho! Hi! Adesso sarà più contento Glitcho. Queste pacchette durano tantissimo, però poraccio dovrà aspettare altri 15 minuti prima di averne altre. Allora, quindi dicevo, voglio fare una reaction perché è uscito finalmente un gameplay di Hogwarts Legacy, il gioco ispirato quindi alla linea narrativa di Harry Potter. Da quanto ricordo, se non sbaglio, però il gioco è ambientato qualche anno, non so se un secolo forse, non so, comunque prima, dei fatti antecedenti, quindi a Harry Potter, tutto quello che succederà poi nei libri. Quindi io direi di iniziare subito la visione, visto che dura pure un pochettino, però tanto è una serata tranquilla, ce lo vediamo con calma. E andiamo. Allora, cambiamo. Eccoci qua. Iniziamolo subito. Vediamo. Pronti, partenza, via. Poteva partire anche più lento. Dimmi se continui a vedere normale tu,
What's up,
Gigita.
everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, community manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to.
Okay.
First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto
Se
Go.
guardo in basso è
James
perché
Whitehead.
guardo all'altro schermo.
Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go. The other half, my wife Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from
Anche a me ispira molto il gioco. Questo gioco ispirato appunto all'universo di Harry Potter, o comunque Hogwarts. Vediamo.
the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together, the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director Alan Tu.
Hello, everyone.
And senior environment artist and Hogwarts expert Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to sit down with us to help us show everybody gameplay. So what we're going to be showing you today, first, the character creator, because
Va bene,
it's
l'editor
your legacy, and
ci avevano fatto
you have to create
intravedere
yourself
altre
when you
volte.
get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator. Then we're going to dive into a tour of Hogwarts, and it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So, and finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all that works.
Let's go.
Just a little taste, yeah. So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator. And James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character. So Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at right here on the screen?
These are your presets. So a lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all of the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you today.
Okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's look at everything
Okay,
here.
let's go
Play
here.
around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab?
Ah, ok, infatti dicevo sono solo predefiniti oppure ok, vabbè dai, c'è
In the previous screen, all those faces are
una bella personalizzazione del personaggio.
So now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape, in your skin color, and then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away. Even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of every. I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go that. I think we'll go that route. And down here is this.
Those are your glasses there.
Beh sì,
So we could go Harry Potter if we want. Awesome.
beh sì, Gigita.
Oh man, and this is just some of the options, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so through the course of the game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of kind of like gear for the character, there's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
I like how it's all Victorian era, though.
Yeah, right up
Very
front.
Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right. So
C'è anche tonalità della pelle, ho visto. Vabbè, i capelli.
I
Però
spent a
wow.
lot of time here just like dreaming about my
Wow.
different characters.
Mamma mia, ha
Oh
fatto
my
benissimo.
gosh, the thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like Fred. I'm not Fred. And we can just go, can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, this is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is
Mamma mia.
cute. Oh,
No, ti prego. No, questo colore no.
Little behind the scenes. I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
Mamma mia.
Silver tips. So that was the closest I got to any color.
Questi
but-
capelli
Oh
color
my
indaco.
gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here.
Però
Alright, so
fatti
now
molto
we're getting over
bene.
here to play around with.
Speriamo non ci
Different
sia
options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles, different things like when it comes to
un
your complexion,
downgrade,
like eyes,
come spesso si ha
shading on the
paura
cheeks.
Oh man.
che ci sia in
You
questi
guys
giochi.
really with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where, Harry had his own unique scar, but you can come in with
Beh, wow.
options.
Yeah.
Le cicatrici pure belle, tanta roba.
Oh wow. Look at that. I didn't even see that.
Oh, those are my favorite. The eyebrow scars.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. You look kind
It's
of
a
like
classic.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But anyway. So now we're over here. Oh man. This
Le sopracciglia,
guys,
quello degli
this is
occhi.
so sick.
Again, getting more subtle
Mhm,
here.
mhm.
Really like dialing in that face to really.
Puoi pure cambiare il colore delle
I
sopracciglia,
don't know
ok?
how revealing
Vabbè, la forma.
facial features now, just like, yeah, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows kind of sit kind of low. But I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. This is where you finalize everything. You're not
Okay.
choosing your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
That was a theory.
Beh, voice 1, voice 2
here's
sarà
where you
voce
bring,
maschile,
you
voce
choose
femminile.
Voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice. And then even within that, changing your pitch,
with
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
you can hear it.
Concerned about.
That was quite something.
And so you can kind of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you
Very well
want.
be able to help.
You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, with combat and how that plays in.
That is
But
a
I
big
think
question.
the important thing here is like if for people who aren't gamers, especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this game.
And I will put expecto and then go. We're good. Awesome.
And then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Amazing.
What do you think, character creator? We're good.
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some combat.
All right. Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later in so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Yeah. So right now, we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mhm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that
Ok,
is
vedo però un frame rate molto basso. mi sembra di vedere.
Is an example of one of not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell.
Non sono 60 fps fissi. Assolutamente no, anzi. Probabilmente a 30, ma si abbassa di parecchio. Stanno giocando da PlayStation perché vedo i tasti L1 e R2. Quindi probabilmente ancora ci deve essere un po' di ottimizzazione.
And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping
La data di uscita non mi ricordo, ma sicuramente ce lo diranno. Sicuramente ce lo diranno a fine video.
And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
But really immerse yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these
Oddio,
low-ceilinged doors.
dirò, sarà
to give you
perché
that
forse su PlayStation o sarà perché... Un attimo, metto in pausa così.
The music.
Sarà perché... o è perché su PlayStation? O perché ancora, vabbè, giustamente il gioco deve uscire, magari ancora ci devono lavorare su molte cose. È un po' piatto. Cioè, vedi anche i rilievi, che ne so, sulle porte, non sono rilievi, sono solo texture messe sopra così applicate. Poi appunto il frame rate, insomma, sembra veramente basso. Però non so, magari forse stanno giocando a PlayStation 4, ma dubito. Secondo me saranno almeno su PlayStation 5. Vabbè, può essere, ripeto, magari per il semplice fatto che ancora è in sviluppo e magari devono migliorare un po' di cose. Perché a colpo d'occhio è bello. Però, ripeto, non fa gridare al miracolo graficamente, almeno per ora. Basti guardare anche, che ne so, adesso così, adesso stiamo vedendo un'immagine a caso, ho fermato qui. Ripeto, i rilievi sulla porta, le mele qui nell'angolo a destra avranno 8 poligoni. Sembra uscito da... cioè, sembra come se fosse... non dico vecchio, ma vecchiotto di qualche annetto, invece di essere una next gen. Però vabbè, vedremo insomma.
The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff.
Perché queste porte a me ricordano invece le case degli Hobbit, mi ricorda.
Entirely intentional.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. Begin customizing that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at
No, sicuramente da sistema, cioè sono...
So, I mean, beautiful
Allora,
design.
un frame rate così non lo puoi lasciare.
Just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling.
Sembra che vada meglio, però forse o stava caricato. Adesso se ha qualche scattino ogni tanto.
Badgers on the
It's got a
fireplace.
real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses,
Yeah,
right? Like
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water.
Sì,
We're
Gigi.
really
Arriva
looking at
Gandalf
each common
adesso.
room.
wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
but I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like looking back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now.
Però ripeto, bellissime le ambientazioni, cioè finora
Yeah.
molto
Just gonna make
bello.
use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Tanta roba.
Use Revelio right here because there's a little magic going on.
Notice a little something there. Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it.
Mhm.
And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge
Okay,
up in the
okay.
corner.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay. Okay.
And so
Ma
we
che
have an
cosa?
answer to that question, and it's given to you by
Passato qualcuno
there's something
scivolando.
we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide. And you can see your house kind of crashing.
Ok.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
can see that on your level.
Questo è
as
il
well.
menu.
So that the field guide
No, se-
has this
no,
magical
non metto in
property of
pausa.
looking-
Allora, togliamo un attimo. Allora, vediamo il menu. Allora, il menu fa vedere appunto questo libro di sfondo. Al centro penso che cambi il simbolo della casa in base appunto alla casa che si sceglie. Questo in questo caso è tasto rosso, se non sbaglio. Che è successo? Aspetta un attimo. Hai fatto una carezzina tu, hai fatto? Geggi? No, giusto per sapere, perché c'è scritto nice to meet you. Ok. Ancora devo conoscerlo anch'io a Glitch. Comunque, dicevamo. Allora, menu, quindi. Menu di gioco. Libro con, immagino, la casa che si sceglie. In alto al centro abbiamo c'è scritto il livello, insomma, penso del personaggio, quindi. Che appunto sarà un GDR. Quindi si aumenterà di livello e probabilmente si aumenterà anche vari parametri. Allora, andando in senso orario abbiamo la mappa, le missioni, la posta del gufo, che non so che cosa sia posta comunque. Vabbè, il setting, le impostazioni, ecco, non mi veniva in italiano, impostazioni, vabbè. In basso al centro challenges, quindi ci saranno delle sfide. Le collezionabili, talenti. Ok, ci sono dei talenti, quindi si sbloccheranno dei talenti che, come c'è scritto lì, verrà sbloccato andando avanti con la ci si verrà sbloccata, quella sezione adesso è bloccata, sarà sbloccata andando avanti nella storia. Inventario. Inventario quindi di cosa? Di oggetti, immagino, perché sopra c'è gear, l'equipaggiamento, sono due cose separate, a meno che anche nell'inventario faccia vedere anche l'equipaggiamento. Però comunque, vabbè, abbastanza semplice, pulito. Quindi, un menu discreto, insomma, niente di troppo fatiscente. Poi magari cambieranno pure questo, magari aggiungeranno qualcosa, però per adesso è semplice, semplice. Vabbè, però ci stanno parecchie cose. Soprattutto la posta del gufo, chissà che cosa sarà. La posta del gufo. Dovremmo scoprirlo, dovremmo vederlo. Magari ce lo spiega più avanti. Andiamo avanti.
out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges.
Ecco.
Exploration challenges. And you can see field guide pages are on there as
E ci
well.
sono le sfide.
We unlocked that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that
Ok, quindi le sfide comprendono.
out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types
Ok,
of
comprendono quindi anche queste cose da cercare, le missioni stesse.
interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around.
Va bene,
There's all
lore.
these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna.
Circular staircase.
All the
match the tower.
portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the flute.
C'è anche la camera delle necessità, ho visto.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those?
Ah, e qua ci stanno.
But
That they're just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
it's a nod to lore. House points is not.
Aspetta un attimo, ma le classi non sono quelle che conosciamo noi? Cioè, allora aspetta, vediamo se ce la fa vedere. Non ho...
We didn't turn it into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our.
C'è un leone. Il leone forse sarà il Grifondoro? Però perché un leone? Vabbè, il grifone. C'ha le zampe da leone, però vabbè. Sì, penso il Grifondoro, Tasso Rosso, Corvo Nero e Serpe Verde.
Narrative, and there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
wizard
Andrew
world.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall
Hall.
over
Yeah.
through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things.
Anzi, che poi un'altra cosa, in questo, siccome è ambientato prima, non penso neanche ci sia Silente come preside della scuola. Penso.
Around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
Calo di frame rate tremendo c'è stato. E ci sta ancora.
We might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So.
Ci sono alcuni cali
Summertime, 'cause I noticed
tremendi,
the
tremendi.
summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put in this is kind of it. I get surprised by it all the time.
Ok, le finestre cambiano con le stagioni, quindi c'è anche un cambio proprio strutturale, come anche abbiamo visto magari nei film. I libri, devo dire la verità, non l'ho letti.
Congregate, just,
Bello.
kind of
Questa è
chill
la
way, meet each other outside the Great Hall before-
l'entrata principale della scuola, uguale identica.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to that it.
Non mi ricordo quanto prima mi dà, però penso parecchio prima, molto parecchio.
A sense of scope to how big this castle
And when
is.
you see things like you'll notice a bridge over there. That's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We put a lot of effort in making it feel really alive. Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years. So just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it and
Oh my gosh.
that landscape, that
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I
that.
am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
No.
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts contains a lot of secrets.
Oh my god.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
Bello.
This is a big hub of the
Ripeto,
school.
bello per
It's
carità,
a big
nel
castle,
senso
but,
nel complesso è
it
molto
is
bello.
designed so you shouldn't get very lost.
Però,
It's kind of a
mamma mia che
central
cadi, cioè
station.
scende sotto i 30
Each direction, you know,
fps in
green
certi
over there, so the
punti.
greenhouse is over there,
Bello,
transportation corridor,
molto
you know,
bello.
the library
Wow.
is straight ahead, so it's kind of the hub.
Oh my
of
god.
A meno che
Even the color,
prova a fare una
visually,
cosa,
you can
ma dubito che sia quello, perché se lo vedo io dal mio computer.
tell. Okay, green.
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh my god.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle. And
Adesso vedremo.
your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis.
It
It's a
is.
castle. It's
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yes.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what
That
I'm
statue
doing. I know
is
what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
god.
is another location where the students will gather, and just kind of chill out.
and an opportunity
Amore.
to talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Perhaps I'll
Ok,
give it a
scelte
go.
I hope
multiple.
you do. In fact, I think
Penso
I heard
siano
one
solo
of
di
the keys in the
circostanza,
astronomy
solo per
tower.
parlare e
You should
basta.
listen for them.
So those kind of
I
side
hope
quests
you
are really, it's a cool way to interact
If you manage to
with
open a
your fellow
cabinet.
students, with perhaps other teachers, with, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
In this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions. Different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
it's just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts
Power.
Tower, which this is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of
It
this
is
area.
very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we
Scusa, Gigi, dicevi a me o a loro di lasciar parlare gli studenti? Eh no, dico, era una battuta riferita a loro o a me. Ah, ok, però c'hai ragione.
can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
Bellissimo e labiale, molto bello.
There's so many ways that you
Tranne
can
il
go with
nome
that.
Zenobia,
You
quindi.
can feel for her, you can be a jerk to her, you can be like, gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like,
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
they continue.
that's a good example of the.
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall health of
Wizard's
the thing.
Chess.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're
I see your
like,
reaction.
I was like, we're in the Fist Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah.
There is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative.
Buonanotte,
Each chapter
buonanotte,
which has
Gigi.
a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And maybe down there who's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high
society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps.
Wow.
Like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, the brooms going
I
by
just saw a broom go
overhead.
by. Love that. The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. it has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player, help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
personality. I like that because it does like Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of
And
grow
full
and
of,
develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
You know, we talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky, and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the Owlery. We're looking directly at the Owlery to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the Owlery.
I love
all
the
owls.
fog rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
No, I also love that as I one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation knowing that is real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous castle. But we're closing it out here in the Clock Tower, so another recognizable location.
Yeah.
But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells that the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome. Good
done,
job,
Andrew.
Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your
the other
classmates.
students.
But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
Apologies.
Off the jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. So you're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all of a sudden, control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, you know, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you will be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here. Win this duel.
How fast it is.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies there's almost like a
Bello. Molto bello.
There's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less going to wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts, and just that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time. You know, so leaving the castle, going out here.
Bello. Molto bello.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts. And
oh man,
this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future. Little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here, but I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen. But I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So
yes.
While we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you wanna pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that, because there's a lot. Let me grab it. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I feel like
yeah,
you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color, so kind of like core shapes, you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things. There's kind of like a barber shop in Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
of course there's a wizard barber.
You could change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
And the game features a lot of appearance customization in it, so there's a ton of options there.
Giusto.
But that's in terms of like your character and stuff that you have the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, awesome. Next question: what kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle because there are new secrets in our castle to explore. And so, so I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that. But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff. And then it's through the talent system. When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow and change. And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example. And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about the battlefield.
I won't be touching the dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Second playthrough, yes. Okay. Dark Hufflepuff coming, #soon. I want to close off with this question, and this will be for everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long, and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again. I hope that whether you're already a fan and love this game, or this is your first introduction into the world, I hope they just point at each other in the best way possible. And I'm just excited for fans to get to finally go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it and live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer and I will, but I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar, because my favorite thing when running around playing the game and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game.
Right.
And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there. And in the movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here and there's this person over here and this thing happened. And it just adds all this richness to everything that you already love.
And not just that, but you're going to add your own story.
Yeah.
So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
Yeah.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is I just love being on a broom. I just love looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just go.
I can go there.
That vantage point,
There's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. It's kind of incredible. Yeah.
And wrapping it up, for me, it's just bringing the community together with it and sharing those stories, because it is your story, and you are going to be writing. This is your unique experience within this, and even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience. Is different from mine. Is different from. We're all approaching it from different places, and I think that's going to be really cool the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but it was a whole lot of stuff. Character creator, a little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023 and is available
dal 10
for
febbraio.
now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else, but for now, bye.
Bye.
Comunque dai, tanta roba e... Allora, io riprenderei qualche punto.
I don't think my face is that skinny.
Vabbè, allora questa è la personalizzazione. Nulla da dire, insomma. Una più che discreta personalizzazione del personaggio. Come ho detto giustamente, non si potrà cambiare in corso, cioè dopo averlo fatto, ma non si potrà cambiare totalmente, ma insomma cambiare magari il colore, l'acconciatura dei capelli, poi vedremo insomma cos'altro. Poi
Starting out, James,
allora analizziamo un po'.
you're wearing the House Fanatic robes.
Semmai togliamo
First look at the
l'audio così vediamo un po' meglio. Me lo rimettono grande magari. Oh, ecco qua. In verità vorrei bloccarlo, però non posso. Vabbè. Comunque vediamo che sulla sinistra abbiamo la minimappa. L1 a quanto pare c'è una boccetta, quindi magari qualcosa da utilizzare. Tipo che ne so, diciamo le mana o cose della vita, cose del genere. Poi, allora, invece in basso a destra abbiamo capito che abbiamo le magie. Poi abbiamo l'utilizzo di tasti direzionali destra e sinistra che, non so, ci sono due simboletti ma non capisco, non hanno spiegato a cosa servono. E appunto R2 è l'utilizzo delle varie magie che, come hanno spiegato, le magie appunto si differenzieranno tra magie che servono per l'interazione con l'ambiente, magie che servono appunto per la ricerca e magie invece che servono per combattere. Nonché poi, appena in basso a sinistra vicino alle magie, abbiamo altre due cose. Insomma, in basso la linea verde penso sia la vita e quindi accanto in automatico quello con scritto numero 3 dovrebbe essere le boccette appunto per curarsi, le boccette curative, e sopra altri due segnalini che ho visto, se non sbaglio, si riempiono durante il combattimento, quindi probabilmente saranno le attacchi speciali che appunto in base ai colpi che si danno si riempiranno e potrai avere la possibilità di fare questi colpi speciali probabilmente. Poi ci hanno mostrato, ecco qua, il menu. Qua mettiamo in pausa. Come sta il menu di gioco? Togliendo un attimo. Allora, dicevamo, ci hanno mostrato questo menu di gioco in cui sostanzialmente abbiamo tutto quello che serve in un GDR. La mappa, che non ci hanno fatto vedere, quindi mistero, chissà come sarà la mappa, speriamo insomma sia anche bella da vedere questa mappa. La mappa, le quest, le missioni, e ci segna anche quali si sono assegnate, in questo caso non c'è nessuna missione assegnata. La posta del gufo, ancora non ho idea a che cosa serva, non lo so. Impostazioni, le sfide, che abbiamo visto, le sfide comprendono sia sfide nelle missioni vere e proprie, quindi il completamento forse in percentuale delle missioni principali, missioni secondarie e quant'altro. Sfide nel mondo di gioco anche nel trovare a quanto pare collezionabili, trovare appunto ci faceva vedere prima trovare queste pagine nascoste o volanti nel mondo di gioco che oltre a essere lore appunto sono anche vere e proprie sfide trovare tutte queste pagine. Collezione, non so, ci saranno oggetti collezionabili? O forse probabilmente collections sarà approfondimento su creature, personaggi e quant'altro sul mondo di gioco. Può essere anche quello. Un approfondimento probabilmente su appunto su tutto il mondo di gioco, su tutto quello che è possibile trovare. I talenti, come ci ha spiegato, come ci hanno spiegato, a quanto pare sono si sbloccano andando avanti con la storia e servono, a quanto pare cambiano in pratica totalmente l'approccio che tu hai in base appunto a come tu fai crescere il tuo personaggio. E ci ha fatto l'esempio delle arti oscure, quindi nel senso sviluppare il personaggio come, tra virgolette, buono, cattivo, che segue una certa strada invece che un'altra, e quindi quello, in base a quello, anche lo sviluppo dei talenti. Talenti che immagino, secondo me, mi viene da pensare, forse, visto che ha citato arti oscure e cose del genere, magari il talento di, che ne so, parlare il serpentese per poter comunicare con i rettili o cose del genere. Quindi abilità specifiche che puoi avere soltanto se ci segui un, un certo, una certa via, un certo cammino che vuoi far fare al tuo personaggio. Poi l'inventario, appunto. Inventario, probabilmente, quindi oggetti di gioco. Che insomma, basandosi in gioco su l'universo di Harry Potter e la magia, probabilmente l'inventario sarà pieno quindi di oggetti e che ne so, anche piante, tutto quello che serve insomma per probabilmente craftare anche se non vedo nel menu di gioco, adesso che ci penso, non vedo una vera e propria sezione di crafting, il che mi sembra strano. O è implementato nell'inventario, o è implementato nell'inventario, o non saprei, non so, o forse più che nell'inventario può essere che ci sarà una, una sezione apposta nel castello di Hogwarts in cui si potrà craftare, quindi magari hai la possibilità di craftare solo esclusivamente appunto in una zona precisa del castello o forse in più zone specifiche di gioco e non durante quindi l'esplorazione. E quindi anche avere una sorta di strategia prima di affrontare certi pericoli, prima di sapere in che zona di Hogwarts addentrare, che ci si addentri, insomma. E il gear, quindi diciamo, la personalizzazione del personaggio, nonché forse anche quell'equipaggiamento vero e proprio. E chissà pure quello se andrà a influire sulla potenza o su alcuni parametri del personaggio stesso, o sarà solo puramente estetico. Ma non credo. Poi andando avanti, vediamo che cos'altro ci proponevano. Ah, ok, che questo l'abbiamo visto di sfuggita. Quindi queste sono le sfide. Challenges. Abbiamo sfide di combattimento, vi fa vedere, missioni, esplorazione, le pagine, cioè proprio c'è una sezione sfide solo delle pagine da trovare nel mondo di gioco. Quanto pare sfide nella stanza come si chiama? La stanza di necessità. Requirements dovrebbe essere la stanza di necessità. Che chissà che cosa significa. Sono curioso adesso di scoprire che cosa saranno queste sfide nella stanza della necessità. Vabbè, questo si possono dedurre abbastanza facilmente. Insomma, queste penso la sfida, nel senso sotto avremo la percentuale avremo probabilmente la percentuale di avanzamento nelle quest principali e nelle quest secondarie e così via. Esplorazione probabilmente appunto trovare altre probabilmente ci saranno collezionabili o che so, collezionabili, cose con cui interagire probabilmente nel mondo di gioco. Poi, andando avanti, qui ci hanno fatto vedere un po' di ambienti. Queste sono le clessidre, a quanto pare con i punti ci hanno spiegato, con il sistema di punti. Ancora ambienti, altre pagine da trovare. E qua è l'esterno. Ripeto, a colpo d'occhio è molto 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 bello. C'è tanta roba, tantissima roba. Anche se, ripeto, per me continua a essere un pochino piatto. Un pochino piatto. Però speriamo, insomma, fino che va al 10 febbraio. C'è ancora tempo. Bellissimo qua comunque questo sorta di gazebo di legno sulla sinistra, le colonne, molto belle. Poi ci hanno detto che anche trovare le finestre e forse anche qualcos'altro nel mondo di gioco cambierà in base alle stagioni. Come abbiamo... Io parlo del film, ripeto, non ho letto i libri, magari li leggerò poi. Però come vedevo anche nei film cambiano in base alle stagioni. Sto vedendo, nel senso i personaggi, beh, fatti molto bene, anche la mimica facciale va benissimo. Quello ci hanno lavorato molto. Belle anche le finestre, come si chiama? Mosaico? No, vabbè, comunque le finestre sono molto belle, molto molto belle. Queste rappresentazioni. Questa è un'aula dove ci hanno fatto vedere la lavagna che si scriveva da sola, compilava e uscivano scritte. C'era stato un salvataggio? È uscita un'icona centrale, probabilmente quello era il salvataggio. Qua per esempio invece è bellissima l'illuminazione, cioè bellissima. Sì, è bella come entra la luce dalle finestre. Ci sono certi punti in cui è un po' piatto il gioco. Andiamo avanti. Voglio andare al sistema di combattimento, volevo analizzare. Comunque è bellissimo, bellissimo. L'ambientazione non posso dire nulla. Qua era la torre dell'orologio, appunto, e qua abbiamo visto che c'era il combattimento. Questo ci diceva un luogo gestito dagli studenti in cui si esercitano a combattere. Qua ci aveva fatto vedere. C'è una sorta di allenamento, primo tutorial di combinazioni di magie per i combattimenti. Poi ci fa vedere queste combinazioni di Accio. Adesso allora, io sono un po' ignorante sulle magie del mondo di Harry Potter, però Accio a quanto pare per attirare, comunque prendere gli oggetti a sé. E fa vedere infatti questa combinazione. Qua mettiamo l'audio, va? Facciamo sentire.
And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the
ecco, qua ci spiega che con
R2 instead, you can
R2 c'è un attacco veloce. Incantesimo Accio. Ok.
There are certain spells
Con i colpi base.
Just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now.
Allora, e ci spiega. Premendo velocemente il tasto R2 abbiamo, diciamo, un incantesimo base che non so se è personalizzabile questo incantesimo base oppure è predefinito. Questo non ce l'ha spiegato. Però è un incantesimo base che quindi si lancia subito con la pressione veloce del tasto. Invece con lo stesso tasto, tenendolo, infatti lo vedo, attivi premendo il tasto R2. Ok, quando preme R2, R2 ti fa anche accedere a tutti gli incantesimi che hai inserito. Quindi vabbè, sì, gli incantesimi si inseriscono. Però forse R2 in sé ha un attacco veloce base, che probabilmente sarà predefinito. Però poi puoi aggiungerne altri. Fino a 4 massimo, se non sbaglio. Con che puoi combinare.
Spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how
Ok, se tieni premuto il quadrante si allarga. E infatti poi ti escono gli altri tasti con cui poter mandare le magie, le specifiche magie che si hanno equipaggiato.
The diamond expands, and if we let go, you see how it contracts?
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain
Ah, nel corso del gioco puoi aggiungere altri quadranti degli incantesimi, al massimo puoi averne 4. No, non ho capito. Ah, forse quella... Oh, forse ho capito, forse. Ok. Nel senso, puoi averne 4 nella raggiera, però la raggiera... Cioè, le raggiere sono di più. Sono 4 raggiere da 4. Che probabilmente si cambiano con... appunto, vedo che leggermente in alto a sinistra intorno alla raggiera degli incantesimi ci sono appunto i tasti direzionali delle freccette, non mi viene a chiamarle freccette, insomma, la crossbar, non so come chiamarla. E quello probabilmente puoi cambiare velocemente il cerchio di magie equipaggiate. E quindi per questo ne puoi equipaggiare a quanto pare fino a 16. Quindi se non mi sbaglio, cioè se ho capito bene, ne puoi avere 4 proprio così subito, veloci in bella pista, però di queste raggiere tu ne puoi avere 4. Quindi 4 per 4, 16. Forse questo intende. Penso.
additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldown.
Ok.
You're casting spells.
Ogni magia ha pure un suo cooldown, quindi bisognerà anche imparare come stanno spiegando, imparare quindi anche questo cooldown.
Just to
Non
make sure
sono
that you're not just
istantanee
repeatedly
subito.
using one thing over and over and over again.
Right.
You can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the
Ok.
wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things like cooldowns through your talents.
I
different things
talenti.
like-
Ok, quindi nei talenti, qua ci ho detto prima, me lo sono perso questa cosa. Tra i talenti c'è anche, a quanto pare, questa possibilità di ridurre il cooldown delle magie.
to kind of like
Okay.
juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them.
Ok, l'ha detto. Pure questo mi ho perso. L'ha spiegato appunto come dicevo, come avevo intuito. Nel senso, tenendo premuto R2 e premendo su un tasto direzionale, passi a un altro quadrante. Quindi sono 4 quadranti, ognuno di 4 magie, per un totale di 16 magie che puoi equipaggiare. Quindi ci dicono probabilmente se... Ok, vabbè, tu puoi equipaggiare perché si hanno detto che puoi equipaggiare un massimo di 16 magie, però in quel caso mi fa intuire che ce ne sono molte di più, quindi caspita, cioè immaginate 16 magie, scusate mi sto allargando l'orologio che l'ho fatto troppo stretto. Immaginate 16 magie e comunque sono parecchie, almeno poi vedremo nel gioco, magari ci sembreranno pochissime. O forse per il fatto che comunque giustamente le magie si differiscono tra magie vere e proprie per il combattimento. Per carità, anche Accio che non è una magia per combattere di per sé, però la puoi utilizzare a tuo vantaggio nei combattimenti, ma non fa danno. Però penso appunto ci siano magie proprio di danno e magie invece appunto più, di circostanza, insomma. Però ripeto, 16 magie non mi sembrano poche, anzi sono parecchie, e mi fa intuire che ce ne saranno anche di più 16. Quindi più di 16 magie. Caspita. Più di 16 magie è parecchio.
And that's how you access all those spells.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to.
Ok, questa è una sorta di tutorial. In alto vediamo, in alto al centro ci fa vedere una sequenza.
Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Well
Good
done,
job,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Ci fa vedere una sequenza
I'd say that's enough practice.
di incantesimi.
Let's get out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
Una sequenza di incantesimi per
During practice, then during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on.
dicevo, ci fa vedere una sequenza di incantesimi appunto per farci capire il sistema di
Some
combattimento.
more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes, it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen.
Ok, adesso ci fa vedere invece un vero e proprio combattimento contro
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else.
contro veri e propri personaggi, insomma.
A little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
Veri e propri personaggi.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against three people.
Three, yeah.
Apologies.
Ok. 1 contro 3.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too, and we actually play with that when it comes to the spell
Ok.
casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters.
Ci sono degli scudi.
Notice that your spells have different colors on
Ora,
them.
questo
To
scudo
help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there
io non ho capito se questo scudo si attiva in automatico.
And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use.
Gli scudi sono automatici o lo dobbiamo equipaggiare, cioè lo dobbiamo attivare in un certo senso? Questo non ho capito. Poi ci dice, vabbè, che i vari scudi citati avversari appunto sono colorati perché ci indicano quale incantesimo è più adatto per rompere quello scudo. Quindi in questo caso penso un incantesimo giallo con la piuma sia in Guardian Leviosa per rompere lo scudo appunto del nemico che in questo caso ha di fronte questo personaggio, ha lo scudo giallo. Invece viola probabilmente con accio.
That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying
And
on things.
we've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen. The halo.
Infatti li metti sullo schermo, quindi ci fa vedere in alto la vita del nemico che in quel momento abbiamo bloccato.
Around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's
Give us a
going
breakdown
on.
of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health and so.
Ok, c'è il livello e la salute. Quindi appunto anche il livello del nemico. Questo per ribadire. Gioco GDR, quindi in base al nostro livello di potenza saremo capaci di poter affrontare livelli di un certo... E potremo affrontare quindi nemici di un certo livello.
Get that breakdown. the halo over your head.
Ok, qua ci spiega pure che l'alone che ha intorno alla testa del nostro personaggio è una sorta di sesto senso, come il sesto senso di Spider-Man. Poche parole, che ci dice, ci avverte nel momento in cui ci stanno per attaccare, quindi avremo la possibilità di poter deviare i colpi che arriveranno subito dopo.
If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button,
Ok, deviare il colpo, appunto.
Where it goes off and like hits things up and
just deflect, it also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combo.
Ok, si era buggato il personaggio dentro gli scalini, il nemico. Bella pure questa cosa che può interagire con con alcuni oggetti del mondo di gioco. Cioè, ha fatto vedere adesso che gli ha tirato un barile. Bella anche questa cosa, perché varia tantissimo appunto anche il sistema di combattimento, che già è vario di per sé per tutte le magie che potremmo sbloccare a quanto pare, e in più anche l'interazione con l'ambiente di gioco.
Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here, win this duel.
How fast it is.
Ok, in caso comunque venissimo colpiti da un incantesimo, non penso da tutti, perché vabbè, in grado leviosa semplicemente ti alza in aria, quindi non ti fa danno. E a quanto pare, grazie amore, ti amo anch'io. E a quanto pare ci si potrà liberare forse da certi incantesimi, non penso da tutti. Cioè, nel senso, immagino che un incantesimo di danno diretto ti fa danno, punto e basta. Però degli incantesimi invece che magari ci bloccano, come in questo caso ci solleva da terra, se abbiamo dei riflessi veloci con... so se sarà un tasto predefinito o sarà sempre casuale il tasto con cui liberarsi, insomma avremo la possibilità di liberarci e poter subito contrattaccare. Come in questo caso. Qua l'hanno colpito.
It's like a dance.
Sì, sì, qua l'hanno colpito, gli ha fatto parecchio danno. E infatti ha bevuto una fialetta per recuperare. Molto bello, molto bello.
Perhaps you should try that next time.
Ok, vediamo. Poi ci fa vedere un po'
We're gonna wrap things up here, but
l'ambiente esterno al castello. Beh, ci ha fatto vedere lì. Poi basta, insomma. E poi finisce, a quanto pare, Hogwarts. Allora, togliamo. Allora. Allora, cambiamo subito. Un attimo solo. Eccoci qua. Andiamo alla conclusione di questa live. Pensavo di metterci di meno, ma visto che siamo stati parecchio a parlare appunto di Harry Potter, cioè di Hogwarts Legacy, scusate, Hogwarts Legacy. Abbiamo parlato di Hogwarts Legacy. Mettiamoci un po' la nostra musichetta di sottofondo. Allora, dicevamo, abbiamo parlato di Hogwarts Legacy, che è in uscita il 10 febbraio, se non ho capito male. Aspettate che lo vado a rivedere. Guardo subito, solo per non darvi una falsa informazione. 10 febbraio appunto, quindi insomma neanche tanto lontano, eh? Siamo arrivati a fine anno, siamo a novembre, siamo a metà novembre in pratica. E vi dicevo, quindi, scusate che sto giostrando un pochino qua su OBS. Come vi dicevo, facciamo conclusione veloce. Hogwarts Legacy, uscita 10 febbraio. Si prospetta, secondo me, un gran bel gioco. Per ora non ho nulla diciamo, su cui sbilanciare. Mi sembra un ottimo gioco, ben strutturato. Quindi lo aspetto, non vedo l'ora di provarlo. E che altro dire? Ringrazio a chi è passato, ringrazio a mia moglie che è venuta a fare compagnia, nonostante sia qui accanto a me, comunque viene a fare compagnia anche in live. Mi fa tanto piacere. Vero amore? Lo vuoi far vedere? Sì. Arriva, si fa bella e arriva. Dove vai? Quindi allora dicevo, ringrazio chi è passato. Ringrazio a mia moglie che adesso arriva, si fa bella. Ringraziamo tutti quanti a Glitcho che ci ha tenuto compagnia tutto il tempo. Eccola qua mia moglie. Che mi supporta, la prima VIP del canale, la prima che mi supporta su tutto. Supporta e mi sopporta. Ok. Ripeto, ringraziamo Glitcho, la mascotte del canale, che sta lì sempre ansimante, sempre così, che si muove, fa su e giù. Vi ricordo che insomma potete seguirmi anche sul canale, potete scannerizzare il codice QR per entrare sul gruppo di Telegram, dove verrete aggiornati su ogni volta che andrò in live. Accanto subito trovate il gruppo dei Disperados che potete seguire, vi lascio i loro canali in chat. Eccoli qua, il gruppo dei Disperados. Nonché potete seguirmi anche su TikTok, dove ci sono le clip divertenti, su Instagram, su YouTube. Ragazzi, vi ricordo, su YouTube potete recuperare le vecchissime live che non trovate più su Twitch, perché Twitch dopo un tot di tempo le cancella, dopo mi sa 2 mesi. Quindi insomma, approfittatene, andate su YouTube, non vi costa niente, mettete il like, la spunta sulla campanella e verrete sempre aggiornati sia perché lì vengono caricate anche queste live, insomma. Anche quella di stasera verrà caricata lì e potete vedere quelle vecchiotte. Io ragazzi, in tutto questo vi faccio un saluto, vi auguro buonanotte e ci vediamo alla prossima.